Hi everyone, it's me again with Technique Tuesdays, fiddling around with my camera here, trying to get it in the right position, trying to get rid of the shadows, but it's not happening. Just give me 1 second while I pull this up on my laptop. 1 second. So it's up on my laptop. Anybody here yet? Should we get started? It's 10 o'clock. Let me know if you're here. And today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be creating a leather type of effect. Just using Stamperia stone paper, which I will talk about as we go through the process, and also using some different kinds of pen art products that that we love here. So this week, coming up with this idea, it was actually Dali gave me this idea, and she walked me through the process. So if I can do it with her telling me on FaceTime, then I'm sure everybody else can do it too. So I hope everybody's doing well. We're super hot here. Dali tells me that it's been raining there in the UK. But anyway, super hot here, and thank God for AC. And I'm gonna get going. I have a few things that I also wanted to share with you, so I can definitely share them as we go along during our demo. So I am just gonna bring the camera down to where we can see what I'm gonna be doing today. So just give me 1 second. I should really have elevator music on here. Okay, let me see what it's doing. Okay, here we go. You guys can all see my okay. So sorry about my fingers and everything, but I've got my screw worked out, so I know what I was doing wrong there. So I think you guys can all see that. I can move that up a little bit here, get my brushes out the way. So hello Paul, how are you? Thank you for joining. How's that looking, guys? Does that look good? I think that looks good. So today what we're going to be doing is, like I said, good morning Gloria. Like I said, Dali gave me this idea, or she told me this technique over FaceTime, and she did such a good job because I'm really impressed with what I was able to come up with. I did do a few practice pieces. I will show them to you. So this is just a very tiny little Midori that I made. It's a tiny, is it blurry, guys? I know on mine it's coming up really clear on my laptop. Really good. Okay, great, Paul. Gloria, it might be your computer. So like I said, Dali gave me this idea, and she says, hey, why don't you do your Technique Tuesdays? Because I'm always bouncing ideas off her to do the leather effect or the crocodile effect. So today I'm actually going to be doing the leather crocodile effect. But I also wanted to play around with the different colors and different stencils. So like I said, this is really tiny, but you can make a great big one out of this. And I will just open it up here. Thanks, Paul. And you will see that this is what it looks like. Now, because this was still wet when I did this yesterday, I will glue down the edges down here, down the middle and down here, so that I have two little pockets. Now you could also put a magnet here if you wanted to. You could finish off the top also there. But this is basically a leather look using Stamperia rice paper. So you guys are probably all wondering, well, as most of you know, what is Stamperia rice paper? So this is what rice paper, not rice paper, my apologies, stone paper, stone paper. I work with rice paper so much I mix myself up. So this is stone paper, and stone paper is a special paper. It's actually made of natural fiber. It is very, very strong. It does not tear at all, so it's versatile for everything. You can pierce it, you can cut it, you can sew it, you can die cut it, you can decorate rice paper, stencils, acrylic colors, and once it is actually decorated, and in some cases once you varnished it, but once it is decorated, it can be cleaned in the washing machine. So if you're an avid sewer, and you want to use rice paper for your sewing, this is a great technique. Again, this is machine washable, and it also doesn't tear. So I've got a piece here, and you can't tear it for the life of you. But anyway, that is stone paper. So some of the other products that we're going to be using are the antique paste. We're going to be using some varnish at the end. We are going to be using Pentart Lasurs. And we're going to be using a mixture of Pentart and Stamperia. Let me put these ones down. Pentart Stamperia and Pentart Medium Mist. Why do I always hold them up that way? There we go. Okay. So, and today what I'm going to be using is, I got my hand on quite a few of these new stencils. They're so funky, and I know Dali took some back to the UK, but it's a multimedia crackle stencil. And this is absolutely perfect for the technique that we're going to be doing today, which is a crocodile leather lock technique. So I know Dali has all these products if you need to get them. I'm sure Paul and Dali can hook you up. I will go through the products. Paul and Dali are watching, so they know what I'm using. Again, I know Dali took some of these stencils with her. How many she has left, I do not know. Okay, so that's just a little bit of an overview of the products that we're going to be using. Now, before we get started, I wanted to just show you what I used, the colors I used on this one, in case anybody wants to go for this look of color. So for this one, I used some Pentart, there we go, Pentart Toffee. I used a Pentart Brown, brown. And I used the Stamperia Water Green. And I use the Stamperia Light Blue, or you can use the Stamperia Blue Medium Mist. So that's what I used. And then I used the Antique Paste Umbra on top. And then I came in at the end and I varnished it with a matte varnish. Good morning, Rita. Thanks for joining. And that's what we used on here. And in terms of lasers that I used for this piece, I used the Lasur Blue. Here I go again, upside down. Lasur Blue, Lasur Pine, and Lasur Walnut. But as you know, the Lasurs and the Medium Mist have complementary colors. So you can do magentas, reds, yellows, purples, greens, you name it. Lasur and the Medium Mist and the Stamperia Aqua colors have all complementary colors to this. And again, the stencil that I used was this crackle stencil here. Okay, so that's the products that I used. For today, because we're going to go for a crocodile effect, I wanted to go more browny gray tones, more of a leather look. So, oh, I'm so happy too, Rita. Hi, Dali. Glad you made it. I was just telling everybody this is what you taught me over FaceTime so that I could do this technique today. Okay, let me bring my products over here. So I always have my little products in my trusty little makeshift box here. Now, before we get going, I've told you how I made this. Hi, Peggy. Before I show you how I made this, I've given you all the colors that I used. I used a stencil. It's a Stamperia stencil. It has music notes on it and a ballerina, I believe. I'm sure Dali has them in stock, as do I. And then on the inside was just any splashes that were left over or color I put down on here, I actually put down on the inside. So again, when I get time and when this is now it's dry, I will glue down in the 3 spaces here so that I actually have a little pocket here and I can close it. And if you miss the first part, like I said, this is a very versatile material. It is washable. It is not, you're not able to tear it. A lot of people use this in sewing. And actually I can show you some of the samples that they have showing what they've done with it. So as you can see, there's a beautiful box. They've sewn a bag with it. So lots of different techniques. You can see somebody sewing there. Okay, and it is machine washable. Okay, so without further ado, you know how I came up with this piece. And here are some of my practice pieces. This is on stone paper, very leather looking. So this is without the stenciling. It was a practice piece. This was because I was trying to figure out the colors that I wanted to use on here. So this is how I came up with this. But you need the stenciling to get that vintage look because that's where the antique paste will sit. So that was one sample. And then this is the one that I'm going to be doing today. This is, like I said, Dali kindly told me how to do it. And it's like a crocodile effect leather. Okay. And then I have some practice pieces here. I'm one of those people that needs to practice before I actually do something. So these are some of the pieces, and I'll tell you what the difference is. I've actually got it written on the back. This is a technique we're going to do today. We're going to go straight on. I forgot to mention the star of the show is the gel paste by Pentart. You're going to go directly onto the stone paper, no prep, no nothing, and you are going to come in with gel paste. With this one, what I did, I went to the stone paper and I first sprayed on with the media mist, and that's why you see some of these little blotches here, which gives it a really nice effect. So bring my light here a little bit. And then I went in with the gel paste, and then I came in with the lasers. This one here, I went in with the lasers first, and then did the gel paste, and then just did a little bit of medium mist on top. So 3 different kind of looks, but all using the exact same products. And like I said, you can use any colors you want. These are just the colors I chose to go with. Again, yellows, purples, greens, blues, what have you. So like I said, this Midori can be quite big. I have made mine small. I've already cut it up because for this purpose, I'd be here all day if I was to use a full-size proper Midori. Not that it matters because you can use this like a wallet. So the very first thing that you're going to do, we know it's going to, I've already scored it and cut it. We know that it's going to go like this. Okay. And then we can open that up. Now, so I'm going to go on the back. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stencil all over using my crackle stencil here. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? So this is the Stamperia gel paste. It's transparent. I use it actually on a lot of products, a lot of mixed media. So you're just going to come in and you're just going to give it a nice generous coat, and you're just going to go all over like this. Take your time at home and maybe tape down your stencil if you want to. Now you can go as thick as you want and as thin as you want. I'm going to go a little bit thinner than I normally would because, well, actually not too much thinner, because I need to get this dried for you guys so that, again, you're not here all day. And gel paste actually goes a long way because it spreads so thin. It's quite a liquid, not liquidy, but it's not very, what you would call a thick consistency. Whoops. I'm trying to see if we can see my trusty baby wipes are over there, so I'll go grab them. Like I said, when you're at home, take your time. Okay, so we have an even coat here. And what I'm going to do is see if I can't come in here without ruining my pattern anywhere else. Like so. And we'll just see, we'll just wing it and see how it turns out. That's all you can do. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to grab my trusty wipes. Now, when you're at home, make sure that you're, you know, oops, cleaning your stencil when you're using it. So I'm just going to clean off this, and I'm just going to wipe off high dye. I think Stamperia might do that stencil dye in a smaller crackle. In fact, I have one right here. It looks like this dye. It's a much smaller crackle. So this is like more of a, yeah, more micro crackle. I wanted to go big, but the original plan was to have like a big Midori, but then I realized it's going to take me a long time to get that done. So make sure you're always cleaning off your stencils. Worst case scenario, if your stencil gets goopy or you've got product on it, a good tip is that you can always put it into some rubbing alcohol. I'm not sure, can't remember what they call it in the UK, but yes, rubbing alcohol. Okay. You're welcome, Di. Okay, so once we have that done, we want that to dry. Dali knows I'm very particular about my stencils. I like them clean. Okay, so best thing to do is to normally just have a bucket of water next to you, which I forgot to get this morning. Okay, look at that. All nice and clean. I'm happy. As Dali would say, you don't want her mad. Okay, so we are going to give this a quick blast. Personally, it's better to let it dry naturally, just because I think it gives a better effect. But like I always say, Pentop products are meant to work with heat tools, and it would help if I had my gun on. Gloria, you won't get the same effect with modeling paste because modeling paste is opaque. This is clear. Sorry, I was drawing and then trying to answer something. Gloria, if you use modeling paste, that is opaque. You won't get this technique or this look at all. Paul, I don't know, maybe I'm on a delay here, but Dali, I've answered Di. I think if there's any other stencils you have, you can let her know. But I showed the Stamperia Forest one. Okay, I'm just going to let that... hi, Gail. I'm just going to let that start to dry a little bit. And I'm just going to put it aside for a moment. Just want it to get a little bit more drier. I don't want to take, like I said, the heat gun too close to it. I don't want it to start bubbling. But, boy, I went 1 week without showing new card kits. And I had messages galore. Dali's card kits ran out? Have Dali's card kits ran out? No, they haven't run out. I'm trying to hold on to them. So while this is just drying a little bit, give me a couple of minutes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through Dali's card kit release for this week. Now, the good news is we were able to source 6x6 envelopes. So what I have here for you is 5x5 cards, 5.5 by 5.5 cards that will come with envelopes that are 6x6, so they allow for the embellishments to go through. Thank you, Gail. Allow for the embellishments to go through, and also they go through regular mail. So that's the beauty of it. So while we're just going to let this dry a little bit, let me show you Dali's cards. So this is by Minte. It's a 12x12 book, and it's called, and Dali might have to correct me, she made the cards. I have the books though. They're 12x12, I think 22 designs, including an embellishment page of die cuts. And it's either called Suntastic or Sunfuntastic or Fantastic, something-tastic. So anyway, without further ado, this is absolutely gorgeous. Dali's nailed it again, and this is all about the seaside. And I thought, I don't want to wait till after summer to release it. So here's the first card. It's absolutely stunning, and it's layered. So that's card 1. Oh, gotta love these little seashells. Can you see the little seashells on there? So they all come part of the kit. And again, it's all layered. Everything's done for you. Now there is a video to this to help you to, I'll put one aside for you, Hangale. There is a video to this, a video step-by-step tutorial. Oh, I love this guy. Dali really knows how to put her cards together, and I'm better start learning. But look at that ribbon. Could you get more perfect ribbon? And you can change your sentiments, and with the video tutorial, Dali will tell you, you don't have to do it exactly how she does it. You get all the embellishments, and you can do what you choose to do with it. But the colors on this are just so fantastic. And this one has little pockets in it, little travel pockets. You got a little boat in there, and then you got traveling topper. And then one of my favorite, this beautiful flower with the keys. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, there's a bonus card. What do I know? There's 7 cards. So 7 cards, 7 envelopes. So let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let me know. I know you want a set, Gail. Let me know, because we all know these sell out. And I always like to offer them to you guys before I actually put them on Facebook. And they'll just be the regular price of $24.99. Even though they come with the envelopes, I'm not going to add any extra on. Okay, so see, that helped me while this gets dry, because now this is where all the magic's going to happen. So this is like, see, it didn't take long. You know that I didn't put a lot of time on here in drying it with the heat tool. So it dries relatively fast. Also, if you do use a heat tool, make sure you let it cool down before you start bringing in the other products. Now, I usually need a lot more space than this to do this, but what I'm going to do is try and do it from this distance without getting everything over me. So, we're going to use Mixed Media Aqua Color Graphite. We're going to use Mixed Media Toffee, Media Mist. And my brown has disappeared somewhere. This is what I do. Where is my brown? That is not my brown. My brown is over here. Okay, I'm going to go grab my brown. Dali, I'm missing you. When I forget things, I don't have anybody to help me. So I don't go in any necessary, thank you, Dali. I don't necessarily go in any specific order, lighter or darker. I just kind of play it by ear for the look that I'm kind of going for. As I showed you earlier, you can go darker, lighter, whatever kind of technique that you want to create, or colors, or like I did with the one that I made where I used blues and browns. Okay, so I think every time it comes out, it's a different kind of look. So don't need to shake these. They do have a bulbarian in them. So what I'm going to do, usually, like I said, I come from a lot higher, but I don't want to get this everywhere, is you just want to come in and you just want to start spraying in different areas. And then come in with a paper towel. That's the word I'm looking for. And what you're trying to do is you're just trying to get some color in the background, okay? And as you can see, the gel is still showing there, okay? So you can come in with some more color. And just smush it around. And like I said, when I was doing the inside, this leftover paint here, spray, was what I was picking up on the inside to give it that look. So I want to come in a little bit lighter, get some light colors going. And it's already starting to take an effect. And again, just come in a little bit. Okay, so there you have it. That's all you're doing. Not a lot of spray. You can always come back in with these sprays afterwards. Now, once you have that, what you want to do is, yes, each one, Gail, will definitely be different. So never the same. So keep some paper towels by you. And the next thing that you're going to do is that you are going to come in with your lasers. I'm just going to give this a bit of a dry. Now, these are permanent once they're down. So that's good. The weird thing about, well, it's not weird, it's a good thing. The thing about stone paper is, if you notice when I put the gel down, you put that gel down on any other surface, like a glass or a canvas, it takes forever, it seems, to dry. Same with paste and potions and things like that. But the funny thing is, on stone paper, everything dries really fast. It's so weird. I don't know if it's the surface or how porous it is. But anyway, so there you have it. You have this look so far. And you're wondering, well, how did you go from there to here? We'll get there. Thanks, Gloria. Okay, so now the fun part. So now we can start bringing in our lasers. So I'm using a few here today. I've got ebony, I got pine, I got walnut, and I got chestnut. Okay. And all you're going to do is, you're just going to use one brush, and you're going to come in and start. Yes, Gail, I do sell the stone paper. You're just going to pour a little bit on, just like that. Don't be afraid. And you're just going to come in, and there's no right or wrong way. When Dali told me this technique, I was like, nah, it sounds too easy. And she was like, no, 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 no. And it really is such a easy technique, and the effect of it is really amazing. Now make sure your gel is dry, because where it's not dry, it will start lifting. I think mine's good, but in some place I can see where it's not as dry as I would like it. And you can keep coming back in and out with your colors. Now this one, because I just want it in certain places, I'm just gonna put it onto my brush, and you can see I'm just using the same brush. It doesn't matter what order you do this in. You're just gonna just keep going at it till you get to the effect that you are trying to create, okay? And all of these colors work really well. Like I said, the lasers match up to the media mist and the aqua mist that we have. Like I said earlier, you can go magentas, blues, whatever colors you want. So already you're looking at this. Hi, Kimberly. You're already looking at this, and we've already got kind of a crocodile effect going on. And as you know, in my other one, this was a music stencil. So that's a totally different look too. And totally different colors, as you can see. Now I'm going to come in with some walnut. And the walnut is a really nice color. I like walnut. I use it on a lot of stuff, the walnut color. And just come in and dab. And you're going to start seeing different shades of the color underneath. And where you want it darker, like I want it kind of darker on my spine. And down in this area. So you can do that. And then you've come to this part, and right now it's like, ooh, is that it? No, we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna give it a bit of a dry. Like I said, there's something about stone paper where it dries really fast. And I like this chestnutty color, so I'm just gonna put a little bit here and bring it back into this area here. I do kind of like that color. So I just want it in a few random spots. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of the ebony and just to kind of darken in around the sides. Gail, the Lazurs are actually, they are a wood stain that you can use for wood, and they actually color the wood. I will show you some samples in a moment here of where I've actually used the Lazurs, so you get an idea. Okay, so again, I want this spine to be a little bit darker and my edges here to be a little bit darker to just give it that kind of look. And they, even without me dabbing it too much, it will mellow in. Well, let me just grab you a Lazur sample. Okay, so first of all, Gail, Lazurs come in so many different colors. Yes, you could, Gail. That's a perfect way to do it because stone paper is just so beautiful. So the Lazurs come in different colors, yellows, oranges, magentas, you name it. My favorite color is this one. It's like a green, and I'll show you why. So what happens is they allow the stain of the wood to show through. So I'll give you an example here. This is my little box here. This is done with the walnut Lazur, and you can see the more so on this side. You can see the wood grain inside it. I think you can right here. So it won't take away from that, okay? So that's a walnut one enough. This is just my little candle holder made with rice paper. And let's see, what else do I have here? So this box here, my stamp period one here, this is that green that I talked about, my favorite color. Mixed in with pine, and see, you can see the stain of the wood where I've actually used it, so it doesn't take away too much. Okay, so that's that. And when I talk about how bright these colors are, and that's why I'm saying you can make this any leather color you want. This is the red with a little bit of ebony on it. So if you can see here, you can still see the wood stain. But I think that should give you a good idea. Okay. There's your Lazur lesson for the day. Okay, so let's get back to this. That's it. I think I am good with the colors on this. And you guys are probably like, but it still doesn't look like this. So let's show you how we're going to do this. We are going to take some antique paste. Gail, you're so funny. I'll let Paul and Dali tell you what the price on that is, because I think I messed up last time. So here we have the antique paste. Now, antique paste comes in so many different colors. You can use whatever color you want. There's even a white. And it's just basically an antiquing paste. Now, what you want to have on hand is a baby white. You have to have baby whites, more than one baby white. So this is just equivalent to a vintage gel or a vintage look. So there you have it. I don't know if you can see that. So it's not a wax paste per se. You're just going to put some on your brush, and what you're going to do is you're going to start coming in like this. And it goes a long way, and you're just going to keep going. And of course, I'm doing this quick, but you want to take your time, and you want to really work it into the gel. Hi, Grandma. And you really just want to keep working it into the gel that you have down, the heavy body gel. I should have elevator music for you guys. As a teacher would say, talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back. Oh, something happened. The light kind of went dark. Now you know why I didn't do a full-size Midori or a wallet, because I would have been here all morning. Not that I mind. And no, it doesn't matter what direction you go in, because you're just trying to get into the nooks and crannies of that gel. And I'm rushing this. And you know, common sense would be get a bigger brush, not the tiniest brush you can find. That would be common sense. There's so much on my brush. Don't worry, the magic is coming. So now it's starting to look a bit like the sample that I have. Yee, I don't want to touch this. Yee. Okay, so now you have this. This is what it looks like, okay? I just keep, what I do when I use my alcohol inks, or if I use anything that's kind of like solvent based, or if it's a wax or anything, I keep my brushes separate. I don't wash them in the same water as I wash everything else. In fact, I'll be honest with you, with the waxes and the antique paste, I just go in and wipe it off, and then let it kind of do its own thing. It doesn't dry because it's got an oil in it. Okay, so that was Antique Paste Umbra, but like I said, there's so many different colors out there. Okay, so now it just looks like it's a big goopy mess. Now the trick is to only remove selective areas, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna start coming in, and you're just gonna start removing areas, that some that you want darker and some that you want to leave lighter, okay? So you can see right there, you're starting to get darker areas and lighter areas. Now, when you're at home, obviously you're gonna do this a little bit more strategically than I'm doing it. Now, if you want your gel to be a little bit more browner and a little bit more darker, then you would spend some more time doing that with the coloring. So just lift, you're just dabbing very gently in some of the areas, just very, very gently. You're just dabbing, okay? You're leaving some areas darker than others. Did you see the effect that you're starting to get? That two-tone kind of leather look effect? But you just want to keep working at it, and you just want to keep doing it till you get it to where you want it. So this side is a lot darker than that side because I've taken more of the vintage paste off that side. But maybe now you can start seeing how it's starting to look. Obviously, the more intricate the stencil, the more intricate it's going to look. Now, this was quite a big crackle. But you kind of get the gist of it. Thank you, Dali. Thank you, Ahmed. So you kind of get the gist of it. And you are going to come in a few more times. And you're really just trying to get into the edges and just pick up. Like I said, if you want, on this side, I've got more color down than the other side. Or just come into the little nooks and crannies that you find might be too white for you, because these are a little bit white for me. Now what you're going to want to do once you've done this, it's going to dry and it's going to go more matte. You just want to keep working this little area here. Not too much, just enough to give it that kind of leather, worn, torn look. As you can see now, it's starting to really take on that crocodile kind of leather look that I was wanting to go for. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to put this away. And what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to clean up my brush. And I'm going to come in with some of the black wax paste, because I really want to darken my edges, okay? So I'm just going to come in and start bringing that in a little bit. Hi, Pexa. So you see what a difference that is already making. Just a little bit. If I can show you that corner, maybe you can see it. So where you've got a little bit of dark, it's starting to show. I just don't like those kind of brush strokes, so I'm just gonna come in like that. And then you can just go all the way around and just put it down kind of where you want it to be. But now it's really taking on some different shades, which is great. And when you're at home, take your time. Now for technique, like I usually like using my fingers with the wax paste, but for techniques like this, I don't mind pulling out the brush. Now I'm just using the same brush as the antique paste brush. I'm going to change my brush. And of course, when you're at home, take your time doing this part because you don't want this black wax to really stand out too much. So you want to blend it in, kind of like what I'm doing right here, but it will take me a while to do that. So I'm just going to do a quick blend. And I'm just going to bring a little bit darkness over these areas to further enhance the leather look. Now, Gail, you were asking about to put this on an album. This is the most perfect thing to put on an album. Lots of people use this to put on albums. And you know, it's stain proof, it's washable, and you know, if you're a sewer, stone paper is amazing. Okay, so I think for now I'm good. I could probably go on a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is I just want to come down the middle here because I just want this to be a little bit darker. No, I'll show you what stone paper looks like, Gail. It's Tyvek, I don't think you can wash. This is machine washable, and it's really thick. It's not, you can't tear it. You have to cut it. There's no way to tear this. So now you can see I've kind of got that dark edge going down the side. And then I want to get this little area right here. And this is just to enunciate kind of where, or have them more pronounced where your lines are going to be. And you can go on and on and on. Okay, so Gail, let me show you what stone paper looks like. I just gotta wipe my hands here. I'm not sure if you, Gail, if you caught the beginning of the live, but this is stone paper right here. Jean look would be good too. I know, Dolly, there's so many other ways of colors to introduce to this. So this is stone paper, Gail. It is white, like this. It looks like this, basically. You can do what you want with it, but you can't tear it. It's not terrible. So a lot of people use it, put rice paper on it, or color it, or stencil it, do what I'm doing, and then they sew it. But yeah, it's a really nifty material. As I was saying earlier, it's actually made of a natural fiber. It's not stone. Super strong. It won't tear. You can pierce it, cut it, sew it, die cut it. You can decorate rice paper, stencil it, throw acrylic colors on it, lasers, mist, and then you can throw it into the washing machine to be washed. Yeah, it's really interesting, Gail. Throw it in the machine to be washed. So now we're getting really close to my sample that I had. It's made from ceramic fibers. Thanks, Paul. See, what do I know? So now we're really, really close to what we had here. Now, Paul, can you answer Gail? I'm so bad, Gail, when because I don't give the right prices half the time. So the next step is, with everything on, and I don't know if I want to do it yet because I want to let it dry. What you want to do is you want to come in with the matte varnish, which is water-based. Now, there is also a solvent-based matte varnish, and you would use that anytime you're using oils and stuff like that, or you want to protect your scrapbooking paper. But because this is on stone paper, I'm not worried about anything going through it or penetrating through it, so I would use the water-based varnish. And the water-based varnish takes a bit of time to dry, but I can show you on this sample piece, it dries matte. Thanks, Paul. It dries absolutely matte. In fact, it probably further enhances the leather look. But I can actually show you what it looks like when it goes on. Maybe I will try a little bit here. It kind of goes on in, maybe I'll do a very thin layer and then it should dry. And this will protect this from any of the products or the antique paste, if you will, that you've put down. And you just want to go over it. Whoops, am I out of camera here? You just want to do a very thin layer and just go over the whole thing. And this, like I said, will stop the antique paste and everything else from going all over everywhere. And it will further enhance the look of leather because it's a matte. And I'm just going straight into the pot and picking some up. Not with my wax brush, with another clean brush. So the other way you can do this is to use a mixed media glue if you don't have varnish. But I tend to use pentart varnish because that's exactly what it is. It's a varnish. That's what it's meant for. Okay. That's gone in the water. Let's give this dry. You can already see how much more of a leather look it's getting. I'm just going to turn this on. I was trying to put down, thank you, Gail. I was trying to put down my gun there because I wanted to go actually get some wax because I wanted to play wax all of a sudden. It's still a little bit wet in some places, but you can see the effect that you're getting. And I'm just going to grab some wax. I'm still here, I'm coming. I was looking for my brass wax and I don't know what I've done with it. Aha, found it. This is what happens when you have an afterthought. Thank you, Di. This is what happens when you have an afterthought. But now, you're not going to get any of that vintage wax on you. As you can see, it's all, except for that little speck there, it's all dried off. So there you have it. Obviously, the inside, as I mentioned earlier, you can just use sprays. Or you could come in and cover it with a rice paper if you wanted to. So then you would glue down the middle here. Glue down... Oh, am I out of focus here? Glue down the middle here. Side here. The middle there. The side there. And then you have this really nice little wallet. So there you have it, a crocodile leather effect, and it's so leather looking, it's not even funny. And see where I had the dark edges, you can see them, it's really enhanced, like it is aged leather on the sides. And really it wasn't a lot of products. Now, because I just wanted to see what would happen, I want to grab some wax. So I picked like 3 complementary colors. I've got gold, copper, and brass. And I just want to see what it looks like if I was to just ever so gently highlight some of that. Because I like being experimental. And it looks kind of cool. It kind of gives it a shine. Oh, I'm too scared. There, more blended in, it looks good. But you could come in with your waxes and just highlight certain areas. Obviously, don't do it as fast as I'm doing it. And then you get this like shiny, can you see the shiny effect? Hi, Royette. Oh, so the trick to the pots with the wax is, you know, the like, what do you call them? Cocktail sticks, or like thanks Gail, go for it. I use cotton buds. Okay, there you go. So Dali uses cotton buds, but really the trick, you can use those cocktail picks or toothpicks or skewers, and I always just put, like, you can just take a, you know, a little piece out and just, you know, put it on your finger and then just come in and go over it like so, right? Take a little bit more, just a little bit. Yeah, I'm using the end of my paintbrush because I don't want to have to go and get a toothpick. But I always have toothpicks handy. So I'll put some of this down randomly. Obviously, I'll fix it up. Don't like it down the sides. Now you could have done this before you put the varnish down, but this would have gotten mixed up with the vintage paste. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I like the copper, I don't know, no, brass. I use the brass on it. Oh, it looks really bright on TV, but it's not that bright. So now let's fold it up and see what it looks like. there we have it. And just because we can, let's tie this up and let's see what it looks like. Whoopsie daisy. I think I have more difficulty tying things up than I do doing mixed media. Yeah, I'm not really a big source of stone paper. This is what I'll be doing with it, making some nice Christmas wallets. But there you have it. A really neat. Well, you guys enjoy watching me struggle there, tying this up. But a nice little wallet. And then this was the one where I actually have time to make something and I'm not doing a live. Was done in different colors. Using more blue tones, medium mist and the blue lazur, and then this was done in all browns, and I decided as the last minute to come in and put some wax paste on it. I could have done a better job with the wax paste, but the beauty about the varnishes is that I can wipe this back and take it off. But yeah, there you have it. 2 books, 2 different stencils. That's it guys. You'll sew them for me, gal? Okay, well, I'm gonna maybe make some bags of wallets, maybe with rice paper, and you can sew them for me. Wouldn't they be lovely to just give as little gifts? Or even if you made this a little bit smaller and you actually even glued it with heavy body gel, you could have it as a credit card holder also. So there you go. That's it. And that's a tutorial today. And don't forget about the card kits. Just want to get a show of hands, and then that way I know if I should post them or not. So again, stone paper, lazurs, media mists, or aqua color sprays, varnish, wax, and antique paste. And like I said, the star of the show was the gel paste. And of course the crackle stencil that I used, which is great for a bigger piece. Okay, there you have it, guys. I'm going to be over and out, and here is a sample piece of some other colors used and different techniques, so give you an idea of all the different things that you can do. Okay guys, thank you Gloria, thanks Dice. Yeah, you'll see me next week. Oh, good idea, Gail. Another way to make some income on the side, hey? Yeah, actually, you're probably right. We could probably do those. Let's get together and think about this. Quick updates. Yes, the card kits I've shown for Minte, they come with envelopes now. The other thing that I wanted to say was, and I know you local gals, you're welcome, Gail, local gals have already done this morning. But my mixed media workshops at the city are up. If you've already taken them before, not to worry, because it will be all new techniques. And second, the acrylic pouring is going up. I might even do a quick acrylic pour next week for a technique. For those of you who have ever wondered about acrylic pouring. And then there's a mixed media creative cards class that is also posted, and I'll see most of you ladies on Monday, August the 24th for your creative card making class, and we will be using paste and potions to create backgrounds and then build on the backgrounds of those cards. Okay, thanks everybody. Hi Terry. Thanks everybody for joining. I will post this to YouTube as soon as I can get this loaded. Okay? All right, bye everybody. Thanks for joining.